Hey, crypto family. So, some more downside in the market today leaves a lot of people asking, will this end? Now, there's also some FUD in the news I'm going to cover in a minute. But looking at all the altcoins, you can see they are taking the brunt of the attack. So, most of them are down 5, 6, 7, even 10 or 20%. And Bitcoin's down 0.67% to $6,275. If we look at the chart here, we can see that on the 4 hour, for a TD sequential, there's still really not much room for a reversal candle, especially if this candle here closes above 61.74. So again, there's still plenty of room for the downside. The RSI is still extremely oversold, but again, as we've seen before, there really is no indication of how far it can go. So, I'm still can expect if the $6,100 level does not hold. And actually looking at the daily chart here, you can see here that the descending triangle is still very much in effect. It's still staying in there. And if this candle closes below 6,100, I definitely see that as a bearish sign for continued downside. If we hold this level, then there is a lot of potential for a breakout to the upside if we can break out of this descending triangle. But again, this is the thing that everyone's looking at right now. Everyone's waiting. Probably about a week left on this triangle to see which way we break to the upside or downside. But again, if you are looking to trade Bitcoin right now, it's pretty risky because, again, we just had this big move down, which some argue, we could have a bounce. Possibly, I think it could be a dead cat bounce, and then, we could continue to the downside. But again, anything's possible, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that and see if it can hold these support levels. Now, some news I was talking about that is actually some FUD is by CNBC, and it's by a guy named Nouriel Roubini. And this guy here, he basically says that Bitcoin and blockchain is the most hyped tech ever. And he says Bitcoin is the mother of all scams. So this guy was one of the few economists who predicted the 2008 financial crisis, and he criticizes Bitcoin's underlying technology, blockchain, calling it the most overhyped and least useful technology in human history. And he says right now, crypto is the mother or father of all scams and bubbles. Now, while this guy does have some credentials of, predicting the 2008 financial crisis, which basically no one was predicting that. Everyone was bullish in 2008. Everyone was thinking that the housing market's going to keep increasing forever. Stocks were doing great. But again, that is some credentials for him to go on. In saying that, I believe that he still has no room to talk on Bitcoin and the blockchain because it is so different from anything that we've seen thus far. And he mentions here, it says, within minutes of testifying at a congressional hearing on Capitol Hill on Thursday, Roubini sounded alarms on multiple aspects of the new digital asset class. And he says, the self-described expert on international financial markets, asset and credit bubbles and their busts, said the first warning sign came after late last year as Bitcoin neared high of almost 20,000. And he told senators that literally every human being I met between Thanksgiving and Christmas of 2017 asked them if they should buy cryptocurrency. And he goes to show that people with no financial literacy or cannot tell the difference between stocks and bonds were asking him if they should buy Bitcoin. Now, I will say there was a big hype for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies late last year. But again, that's with any new technology. There's going to be that initial hype. So I don't think that was anything out of the ordinary. Again, I see it as another market cycle that is playing out right now. But for him to say that basically Bitcoin is the biggest scam and blockchain is the most hyped tech ever, I think you can relate that to the email in 1972 when the email came out. Again, there's some people that were excited about it, but the majority of people did not understand it. And that goes with the internet in the 90s. And again, these things take time. And I think that, he is just so focused on thinking one way that he's not really giving any thought to the other side. So he does say, though, that if you look at his Twitter here, he does say that he's not calling for Bitcoin's bankruptcy. He's arguing at this rate with customer transaction losses, it's only a matter of time when they go bust. And thousands of crypto businesses are bust now. So with that, I do agree with him that there's a ton of cryptocurrencies in the market that will not be here within 5 years. I think there's only a handful of projects, about 100 of them, 50 to 100, that will stand the test of time. But again, to just make that outlandish statement and put that FUD in the market right now, I think that's very, it's very arrogant of him, and I think that it's not something that cryptocurrencies need if we're going to keep, pushing forward with regulations, with adoption, with Bitcoin ETFs. I think there's just another road bump in the grand scheme of things. And again, this guy's getting all the attention right now. So if you see a lot of people mad at him, this is why. So hopefully this rolls over and, all this FUD subsides. But until then, with the stock market plummeting, with this guy spreading FUD about cryptocurrencies, it's not looking too good in the markets right now. But you never know, things could turn any moment, so just keep that in mind. But with that, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, thanks for watching.